We back and we back. Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man. It's the 2-hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake. Coming to you live, putting on for the city. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake.
And it's coming home to Texas. It's coming home all the way to Austin, Texas, baby.
Back to the 2-Hour Lunch Break podcast, man, a podcast for Austin, from Austin. I'm your host, Try with Zeus, and today we've got somebody who lives at the intersection of art, activism, and intersectionality. Born in Lebanon, but raised in Austin and spending time out in LA, he's back in the city inspiring a wave of creators through vision, craft, and courage. He's the founder of Sahar Studios, the mind behind RAZZFEST, and the force behind the Freetape series that's been pushing the sound forward tape after tape. Not only is he one of the most thoughtful voices in hip hop right now, he's also learning jazz, man, blowing sax on major stages and showing what it looks like to evolve in real time. We got the homie, Free Hamze in the building, man. How are you doing today, bro?
I'm good, man. That was an amazing intro.
Man, hey, man, I appreciate it, man. You know, we gotta
bringing me here and just introducing me and honoring the craft and the journey.
Yes, sir.
I feel good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, man. You know, so number one, I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule. You know, I know you're a busy man. You got a lot of pots on the stove, so I appreciate you, you know, pulling up to, you know, chop it up about everything that's going on with you, man. So, you know, man, let's go ahead and get to it, man. Let's talk about your background, bro. So, I know, you know, doing our research, we talked about it off air. You were born in Lebanon, but raised in Austin, right? What do you remember about those early years and how did like your family's Lebanese roots kind of shape the way you see the world?
So I know why you think I was born in Lebanon, because that one Austin Chronicle article, but I was actually born in Oregon.
Oh.
Yeah, randomly.
Okay.
Yeah, so my parents had already immigrated here, but I was like half raised in Lebanon. For the first like 8 years of my life, I spent like entire summers there at a time. And so, you know, at a young age, that's very like transformative.
Right.
It's not quite the word I was looking for.
Gotcha.
Like so, it's part of your upbringing, you know.
Right. So I was gonna say, man, how has you know talking about your Lebanese American heritage, man, how has that influenced like the way you like approach storytelling and sound? I know, especially we had talked about it. Your debut album is gonna have like some Arabic sample beats. How does that influence that?
So as far as like the worldview goes, being from a place like Lebanon, mostly being raised by people that were not born in America and they're immigrants, everything is like brand new. The cultural context that I had coming into America was all fresh. Like this is my first, it's like my third day out here, you know what I mean? Like I don't have grandparents that were here. My parents are barely even here. And they also didn't know what it was like to be raised in the US. So it's just fresh. I had two older brothers and, you know, they provide a lot of context to me. But everything was new. So when you're in an environment like that and you're just a kid, you're a sponge. You know, I moved to Texas when I was like 9 years old. You're just taking everything in with a completely different lens than everybody else. And there's not a lot that you really understand why it is the way it is and why it's not the way it's not. So that was just part of how I grasped things and decided what I loved and what I didn't love. As far as the cultural context goes through, it's just the idea of having that home, that distant home, you know what I mean, that you get a piece of, but you never really can embrace fully through your life or just through where you live. That kind of always creates this sense that, you know, you're like a star. You know how they say the universe is constantly expanding? I'm just like a star that got let loose. And so I'm expanding in a direction. And my origin is coming from way back there. So that also just puts a lot of things in context too. And as far as just basic cultural stuff, the food we eat, the language we spoke at home, you know what I mean? The things that we did or didn't value or prioritize, these are all just coming out of a broader immigrant experience. So I really relate to other immigrant families or children of immigrants because I have like so much in common with, you know, like somebody who was family was immigrated from Haiti or from Mexico or from Pakistan or from Vietnam, you know what I mean? Because we had this collective immigrant hustle mindset that we were all established with at a young age. A lot of emphasis on education, on work, on survival. More than anything, I came up through a survival mindset because my parents, they fled the Civil War.
Oh, wow.
So they came from the Civil War to the U.S.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's just a survival mindset. That's what it comes down to. And
Gotcha.
that's something that fueled a lot of my younger years.
Okay. So what was the, I know you said you got to Texas at 9, right? Was it like a culture shock when you first touched down? Because I'm sure you had probably like never heard the music that came from Texas rap or country music or anything like that, or the food, just like you were talking about. What was that like when you first got here?
Why is everybody speaking to me in Spanish, bro? I didn't understand.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like, why y'all? Why? And I was in Portland, Oregon for a time, like when I was young, because I was born in Oregon and then we moved to Texas. So Portland is just like Austin without Latino people.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was the biggest thing. I was like, everybody thinks that I'm with this crew, but y'all have no idea like how far I came to get here, you know?
Yeah.
So that was funny, but it was hot. People are definitely a lot more hostile, especially post 9/11 era.
Yeah.
They were not vibing with us at all.
Gotcha.
They did not want us there. So that was a little weird. But Texas is awesome, man. I love Texas. I love being from Texas. I love being raised in Texas. So it was definitely a culture shock, but again, it was all my first time. So I didn't have really cultural context knowing what Texas is supposed to be or the history of it as a kid, because our story started with me and my brothers. We're the first page of our story in America.
Yeah.
So it was all just, it was just the same, man. Just new stuff left and right.
Okay.
Just trying to make sense of it all.
Gotcha. So I know you spent a lot of time in Austin, but the last couple of years you actually been in LA, right? But I know you still been like heavily involved with Austin's music scene.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
What have you learned, kind of stepping away from the city and then now coming back? I know you're going to be coming back full time. What have you learned while you've been in LA?
Yeah, that's another interesting thing, because I spent so much of my time in Texas since I was 9. I moved here. I've been in Texas the whole time pretty much. And sometimes you just got to pop out and just go on a new journey, man. And I would encourage everybody who's an artist, if you got an itch, at least travel for extended periods of time.
Okay.
Try to do a residency somewhere. Try to just, lock in. If you got a homie that lives out in another city with a studio around, just go try something, because the world is a big place and you got to see it. So going out there, I was just mostly working on growing. A lot of people, they go out, to a big city like LA or New York, and they think this is my time to blow up. I'm about to meet somebody on the side of the road that's going to change my life forever.
Right.
But for me, it was about locking in, away from distractions, and just kind of redefining my artistry. Because when I first moved to LA, I had just dropped Green Alchemy, which was my first mixtape. That's a deep cut. It's not even on streaming services anymore. And so then I first dropped the first iteration of the Freetape series when I had moved to LA, and then I've dropped 4 since, with the 5th upcoming.
Gotcha.
So it's just a time to grow. Going to Minaret record shows in LA is what made me decide I wanted to be a jazz musician. Okay. So just seeing different scenes is what just continued to propel me forward musically, working with different people. But then at the end of it all, like, I could really just lock in and make that the rest of my life and just contribute all my skills and abilities and, ideas to Los Angeles. But Austin is what got me here. Austin is what gave so much and poured so much into me.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that comes from where I come from, is that's just part of our personality, our tradition. Like, you got to take care of the home front. You got to be hospitable. And I was just having a conversation with my homie Peace the other day. He's from Houston. Okay. And I was telling him, like, man, it's going to be tough to leave LA and come back home because I spent so much time here. I just want to keep on going. But he was saying that Austin has a lot coming for it, a lot of people moving in, a lot of industry and, investment and just cultural growth. And the people that have been here and that were raised here and have spent a lot of time here, because I'm not like a purist, but you got to be born here or raised here to like have a say in what this city can do for us. But us, we have to have a hand in these things, in these changes, in these growths. We have to make our voice heard, and we have to be part of that impact. So I feel great coming home, It's almost like if I was going back to Lebanon, because at this point, Austin this is who I am. This is part of my fiber.
There we go. Man, so let's shift gears a little bit, man. Let's talk the Freetape series, right? So I know you say you started it in LA. Now you're going to be bringing the Freetape series back to Austin. We talked off air. You kind of got some stuff in the works, right? I think I want to say this is number 5.
Yeah.
Coming up. So looking back all the way, even before the first Freetape to Green Alchemy, all the way to now, right? What's the story arc behind that series of tapes that you came out with?
Good question. I mean, I think Green Alchemy as a concept is the idea of turning like a seed germination to a plant, literally and metaphorically. You know what I mean? It's just about that. It's about growth as a kind of alchemy. You know what I mean? it's not just growth, but there's alchemic things that are happening in this process. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was the beginning, the inception of me beginning my career as a musician, not just freestyling like I've been for years. Before that, writing poetry and, you know, chilling with all the rappers after the cypher and after the poetry session.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not like making beats in my house and recording over them privately, but really starting a career as a musician, which for everybody that is in the process of developing their artistry but hasn't released their music yet, just know when you step on the other side of that line, it's a whole new world.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's what I was stepping into. That's what I was alchemizing myself into. And then the free tapes is just a story of, you know, a young man trying to find a sound, trying to find some meaning in all these different sounds. They're vastly different. They have different styles, different influences. Freetape 2 has a real electronic synthy sound because it was produced by Peace. And all of them were produced by one person. So they all exist in this multiverse.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the multiverse of Free.
Right.
Like that's kind of
Okay.
like what's happening. Freetape 1 was produced by Cricket. It's kind of got like a plug-in B vibe. Freetape 3 was a Houston producer named Keith.
Okay.
And that's got a lot more high energy, trap heavy beats. And then Freetape 4 was produced by yours truly, which is a producer here in Austin.
Okay.
And that's like heavy boom bap sample flip vibes.
Right.
So it's just like it's like almost like a museum, you know. And maybe one day I'm gonna put all these on a wall and put a pair of headphones next to them, let people just see what it sounds like.
There we go.
When it's all said and done, when I reach 200, which is my goal, 200 free
Hey,
tapes.
I
I'm just
like
kidding.
that.
I'll be saying that. Inshallah, I'll make it that long.
Yeah,
but it's
you
possible.
never know. You got to manifest that.
Right?
You know what I mean?
But the next one, this is all self-produced. It's my first self-produced project I've ever done.
Okay.
I played all the samples, all the melodic samples. It's all piano that I freestyled and I flipped into a beat. The drum loops are mostly boom bap drum loops that I found. Some are from a concert that I recorded the drums during a drummer solo and then flipped that.
Yeah.
And then all the vocals, you know, they're all just little poems, man. They're all little poems. And really what Freetape 5 is about, it's capturing what it's felt like to be me, you know, this Lebanese American musician, rapper, jazz artist, discovering the sound and these ideas and processing my own existence, especially the last 2 years dealing with seeing genocide unfold in Palestine, wanting to, you know, create, but feeling blocked and scared to do so because of what that means and what the, you know, reality of doing that in such a circumstance is. And it's just processing. This is an out loud musical and literary processing of that experience. And every song is just a different representation of that.
Gotcha.
And it's called The Ego and the Id. And it's because it's, you know, just a fight between the things that you want and the things that you're scared of converging into one. And then that being the self-realization of the artist.
Gotcha.
So all these different samples I played, like one of them is a piano sample I played in Union Station in LA. You could hear like the voices of the people walking by.
Yeah.
You know, other ones I played at Sahar Studios. There was a piano that they actually put under this tree outside on Tillery, and it was like completely fucked up.
Yeah.
Played some samples on there, so it's like a sound collage, and it's like the most experimental of my works thus far, which I appreciate because if you really listen to Freetape 1 all the way through to Freetape 5, it's gonna be a roller coaster, and I think it would sound pretty cool if you like free Hamze music. It's gonna be like I think a treat, you know, just to get to see it all unfold.
So I know Freetape number 5, this is definitely the most experimental tape you've done so far out of the series, right? So, you know, with that said, what's like the biggest thing that you learned about yourself through that process? Because that's totally different than what you had done with the previous 4.
What I learned is that finishing things is hard. It's hard to finish things. I was definitely like I started the project in October of last year.
Right.
That's when I started it.
Yeah.
And I made the majority of the beats on an Amtrak because I was going
Okay.
from Los Angeles to San Diego to see my fiance who lived out there. So I made most of these beats on a train, so in motion. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just like I said, dealing with the reality of the genocide of my people and trying to process how I feel about it. It's a heavy weight, and music is weight. It's like it's its own mass.
Oh yeah.
It's its own material.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it couldn't be finished until I allowed it to. But there's certain subconscious things that are happening that
Gotcha.
really kind of put the music on its own time sometimes. But the act of pushing through that resistance is what makes you a true artist.
Gotcha.
Because you could talk all you want about that unreleased and how fire it is. Like I always want to bring that up and talk about how, yeah, first 5 free tapes are cool, but I got all this stuff in my untitled folder.
Right.
but it's not real until you give it to the people. That's what I think. It's not real until you give it to the people. And that could be playing it for somebody in the car. That's giving it to somebody. That could be performing it, you know. But music must be shared. It demands it.
Gotcha.
So once you share it, that's when it's done.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the jazz part of your creativity, right? So I know you just picked up the sax, last year?
Yeah, a year
right?
and a half ago.
And the thing is, a lot of people, you know, they know you for your lyricism, but you know, not everybody knows you for the saxophone, right? Like, how did you get into learning jazz and playing the sax?
You know, I love telling this story because it's just like an example of what having a curious mind will do to somebody.
Okay.
So I wanted to rap more than anything. I wanted to make rap music.
Yeah.
I've been freestyling my whole life, but I wanted to release music and make music.
Gotcha.
So I started doing it, and then I didn't want to pay for studio time anymore because
Okay.
it was expensive.
Right.
So I learned how to engineer. So once I'm learning how to engineer myself, I'm thinking, well, you know, the same DAW that you use to engineer, you can make beats on. So I started making some beats. Then I'm thinking, man, if I'm gonna make these beats, I should probably learn how to play piano. So I started playing the piano, and then from there, I just am gravitating towards jazz as an art form because of how it aligns with hip hop and because of how similar it is. So I start, you know, perusing over to learning jazz. And then from there, the saxophone really just caught me. Like, it just caught me. I think I just heard like the right John Coltrane song at the right time of day in the right moment. And then I watched this anime called Blue Giant, which is about a saxophone player.
Okay.
And I just decided to make the jump, you know, and I committed to it. And it's not a game, man. Like, learning an instrument is not fun.
Oh yeah.
It's not fun.
I know
Like,
it.
It's not a fun hobby. Like, this is like a torturous process.
Right, yeah.
You have to
It's a
be
grind.
willing to be terrible at something for a long time to get good at it. And that just blows my mind. So it's like, it's both like the most empowering thing I've ever done, and it's like a daily humiliation ritual. Like, it's really awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And it's like, it's almost like religion. Like, it has that weight. That soulful expression through an instrument is like learning how to pray for the first time. You know?
I love that. Okay.
And so it's been a lot, and I definitely think that I was born to play the saxophone.
Gotcha.
Just based on the progress I've had in this first year and a half of playing, and I try not, like, at this point, I'm gonna stop telling people I haven't been playing for that long because then they hear it differently.
Yeah.
But at this point that I'm reaching with it, I'm just excited to do something that nobody's ever done before.
There we go. There we go.
That's what we're working towards.
Gotcha, man. So kind of building on that, you recently, you know, performed with the homie Blakchyl at Blues on the Green, right? Number one, what was that experience like, and you know, how was it kind of, you know, blending rap and that sax live on stage?
Yeah, it was awesome. Blakchyl's amazing. My favorite rapper in Austin. Definitely incredible representative for the city.
Yeah.
And also just the fact that she was willing to include me in her band that early and help me also form the band by choosing some of the members.
Yeah.
That is the best thing that could have happened to me as a musician, just because of what it asked of me. You know,
Right,
it's like
yeah.
your team is relying on you. I felt like I was in Remember the Titans or something, man. Like, you know, you got to deliver. It's like, it's the show, it's the band, it's the team, it's the music, it's the life, it's the story. And you hold a piece of it. And without all the pieces, it can't come together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's been incredible. Blues on the Green, I was nervous. There was a lot of people. My mic broke like
Oh,
5 minutes
wow.
before we went on stage.
Ooh,
They had to
okay.
swap me out for like just a standing one instead of my clip-on one.
Gotcha.
But after I was done, I was like, well, nothing's gonna bother me ever again because
Yeah.
that was over 10,000 people, and we killed it. You know what I mean?
There we go.
Best performance I've seen from Blakchyl, like, and I've been to countless of her shows.
Yeah.
But she really rose to the moment, and the band rose to the moment, and we're actually about to do a residency. I don't want to say too much details because
Okay.
we're still negotiating and stuff. But
Right.
next year we're gonna be doing a residency, and the band is just awesome, man.
Yeah.
I love the band, and I love working. I love playing in a band with a rapper, man.
Yeah.
I love rap music, and I love being part of, and I love just merging those worlds and being part of it, and just adding to what she can do. So, so if you have not seen Blakchyl live, come see the band. We're actually doing a show on November 16th.
Okay, there we
Yeah.
go. So, hey, I am
Right
pull
over
up, bro.
Sahar Studios. So it's gonna be a potluck cookout. It's gonna be awesome. We just announced it like an hour ago.
Gotcha. There
So yeah, that's the gang, and it's just, you know, alhamdulillah, getting a chance to play with so many talented musicians and just grow your craft. So it's been cool.
There we go. There we go. So I know, you know, I know we're talking about you blending like the rapping, the producing, you know, performing as a musician, right? So how do you balance like the time and the energy that it takes to, you know, do all three? Like, does one ever take priority over the others?
The thing is, you have to play. you have to play your instrument every day.
Okay.
You can't skip. And if you skip, you feel it the next time you pick it up. So that's very demanding, that process.
Okay.
With rapping, I feel like I always want to sharpen my pen, sharpen my sword, but this is what I do. Like, I am a rapper through and through. I'm a writer through and through.
Right.
That's what I do, and I'm very good at it.
Yeah.
And you put me in a cypher with people, like, I will rap for 10 minutes straight. I'm not scared. Like,
yeah.
So that to me is just like my baseline expression. That's how I express myself through writing, through words, and through rapping. So I try to record as much as possible because it's easy to fall out of the habit.
Yeah.
But most importantly is just like, I have to play every day and I have to work on my songs constantly. And then the beats, that's hard. That's the part that gets left out.
Okay.
I can make some crazy beats, and Freetape 5 is all self-produced. My album that's coming out is all self-produced.
Okay.
But it can be challenging to do that because you got to pick one of them.
Yeah.
One of those swords to sharpen. You got to just work on it.
Gotcha.
Especially with the horn being something that's new to me, like I got to put in that early groundwork. But don't shy away from it. If you're a multi-instrumentalist or you have these multiple talents, you got to just find a way to make them all work towards the same goal. You know what I mean? So I want everybody out there that feels like they're spread too thin, find a plan to manage these things, and they will always serve you. Like when I was just releasing rap music before I was playing the horn, it was cool, but my musical world has just expanded. What I can do with music has expanded because I didn't tell myself like, oh, you ain't got time for that.
Right.
You ain't got time to play that. Or you could do it casually, just do it here and there to look cool. No, it's like I'm at boot camp. You know what I mean? But you have to do it if it calls to you. If it calls to you, you have to do it. You have to answer these calls, man. We're so distracted. We're spread so thin. We got our head in our phones all day.
Right.
We got all these people banging our line. You have to answer the call of God. You have to hear it. You have to hear that voice. Like for all my One Piece fans, like they talk about the voice of all things. Like the voice is there. You have to call it. So if it calls to you, listen to it. And that's just all the things I do. Just know if you see me doing it, it's because it called to me.
Gotcha.
And I picked that thing up.
Yeah, there we go. I love that. Man, so let's talk Sahar Studios, right? Okay. So I know it's become a place for, artists to, record and build. How has that community evolved since you started it?
Good question. In Sahar Studios itself, when I look at old pictures of the actual space, it looks so minimalist to me. I'm like, wow, I've gained so many like items and a piano and like trinkets. I'm filling my bookshelf, and it's been so lived in. Like people have spent so much time there and made so much music in there. And that's what the community is. Even like my wall where people sign their name. I remember when it was like 7 names on there.
Right.
And now they can't even fit anything else on there, So that's been awesome. And honestly, man, just making a space for people to create and channel themselves, facilitating that is such a thing that's needed in our society. We need these safe spaces, and we need places just to create freely and to answer that call of God that I was telling you, just to channel. Yeah. Music is channeling. And Sahar Studios' motto is music is a mirror made from magic. Music is a reflection of us. How do we build that reflection? Through a magical channeling of spiritual energy. Okay. And when I first started rapping, I would be punching in only. I did not write my verses.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that was crazy because I was like, I've never like punched in before. I've never made a song like off dome. And when I was doing that, that's when I really learned like this is above me. Like, I'm just channeling. Okay. So Sahar Studios, above all else, is a place to channel. That's what it's about. And I talk a lot about musical transcendence. You know that feeling when you're at a show and you just see something incredible and it just sounds so good and you're like, what is this feeling? Like you feel a sense of awe. You know what I mean? And it's musical transcendence. And I love pursuing that. It's just like church. It's just like going to the mall. It's just like religion. Like it's just a feeling of freedom, of euphoria, of transcendence. So that's connected to the challenging. Like not the challenging, but the channeling. The channeling is the expression where you throw it out. The transcendence is when you receive it in its purest form. You know what I mean? Okay. And Sahar Studios isn't about exchange of that, because not only are we a recording studio, but we also do the events. So we're on both sides of this musical cycle. Gotcha. You know what I mean? It's like one of them diagrams from elementary school talking about the rain cycle. There we go. Like the rain comes down, the condensation, it comes back up. We make the music, we give it to the people give back to us, and we make more music. Okay. So that's Sahar Studios. It's grown a lot. You know, we did RAZZFEST this year. Yeah. The Rap and Jazz Festival. I don't know how I came up with that. I must have been off 16 blunts when I thought of that shit. But yeah, so like the fact that now it went from Sahar Studios, it's a place where we do things, you know, but like now it's like Sahar Studios, like this is the home of the Raz. This is where you can come, you know, make some music. This is a show you can come to, have a good time, and see something you've never seen before. And now with the potluck coming up, this is time you can come get a plate, you know? There we go. We got it all. So it's just cool, man. I feel like people say that they say like, oh yeah, self what's the word? It's not like make yourself into a myth.
Mythology?
Yeah, but it's like you do it to yourself, mythologize or something like that. There's like a word people talking about. So if you add like even your name, you go by you're Zeus, man.
Right.
So you've already done that just through your name, just like I'm free, like I assign myself that name. And as an embodiment of the myth of the story.
Yeah.
So when I created Sahar Studios, I created like a story and a myth from an idea.
Gotcha.
It could have just been, oh, you going to the stew. No, hey, can we do rehearsal at Sahar? Like, let's lock in at Sahar sometime.
Right.
You know, I made it real because I said it.
Yeah.
You have to say it for it to be real. Just like what I was saying about how you have to perform the music or release the music or share the music for it to be real. You got to say it for it to be real. So I said Sahar, which is from the Arabic word Sahar, which means magic. So yeah, it's just me on a canvas, man. You know, it's just us.
Okay.
It was me and now it's us.
Gotcha.
Because now so many people have been embedded in the story of Sahar that I could be gone and it'll continue. And that's really what it's all about.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I know you were talking about the RAZZFEST, right?
Yes, RAZZFEST.
So I know we're talking about rap and jazz.
Yeah.
Man, what was the energy like bringing those two worlds together, man? How was that? How did that experience go?
I did not have a single negative feedback about RAZZFEST. Every single person that was there, from the performers to the staff of Empire to the attendees, had a great, amazing time. Like,
Okay.
I was actually kind of shocked because I was really stressed putting it together.
Right.
And I was like, man, the people, they crave realness. They crave something real. Like they don't want us to keep on trying to sell things to them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they don't want people to like just be fake, you know? So all like RAZZFEST was all about just real authentic art, like authentic music. And the combination is just because, you know, like there's no need for these traditions to exist separately. And they don't. But in the minds of people, they don't always make that connection. People that engage in both of them, they do see it.
Okay.
But I'm not trying to make it like an inside joke or like gatekeep this. You know what I mean? I want the average person to make these connections and to expand their world through it. So bringing those two things together, like a lot of people, they had never seen nothing like that before.
Right, yeah.
Because the jazz shows they go to, maybe they're at Monks or maybe they're at Elephant Room or you know, they catch like a Dodo show or a Mock Jaw show and they see that jazz vibe. It's got a certain vibe. Or they catch, you know, a Blakchyl show, Jay Soldier show, Free Hamze show. They catch that rap vibe, that cool Austin rap vibe. But when you put them in one, that's when it just creates a whole new substance.
There we go.
And it was just cool. I mean, breaking it up, just going from a band to a rapper to a band to a rapper with a band to a band with the drummer as a rapper. Like, you know what I mean? Just like all this stuff. It was just, and then you go outside and there's DJs and people freestyling, playing beats and stuff. It's just culture.
Gotcha.
It's just culture, you know?
There we
That's
go.
what it felt like.
So kind of shifting gears and kind of on a more personal note, right? So you've always been outspoken about global liberation movements, and also like the realities of the Middle East, like we talked about earlier. How do you see your activism evolving alongside the music?
It's a good question. You know, I do feel like that makes a lot of sense, even as a segue from Raz, because that was like a liberatory space. And both of those traditions, rap and jazz, which are Black American musical traditions, that were rooted in liberation movements, and just freedom for self and for others, definitely ties into what I represent. You know, keep Kafia on my head. I'm a product of American intervention and civil war between my own people that's being funneled by neocolonial intents and post-colonial chaos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know what it feels like to be displaced, to be oppressed, to be targeted, the target of hate, to be told that you don't got a place here. You know what I mean? So that's another reason why I even related to this type of music. Like, I love rap because Muslim rappers like Lupe, Mos Def, K9, like just all these different people invited me into the culture through their identity and through their language and through their just steadfast principles. You know what I mean? Just the realness. Like I said, it's everything. We have to find this realness. We have to hold on to it as tight as we can.
Yeah.
So as far as activism goes, like, do I identify as an activist? Not really, but I believe that I have a responsibility to do action. And a disciplined regiment of community action is what makes you an activist.
Okay.
So I think I don't need people to put activist in their bio. I don't need you to show me that you're an activist. And I don't need to prove to anybody that I'm in action. What I need to do is take action. So the music stuff is cool. We done fundraisers for Palestine. We did film screenings showing some of those documentaries I had mentioned to you earlier before we started recording, Empire Files, and just teaching people about stuff. if you want to know what I really think about what activism really is and what is the most important aspect of it, is spreading information and spreading knowledge and spreading truth.
Gotcha.
In this world where the government has so much power and so much money, and they're trying their hardest to keep us subdued, the most revolutionary act is to educate yourself and educate other people. And music is a way to spread truth and knowledge and emotion and feeling, but it's not the end.
Right.
I can't just drop, all these songs on Freetape 4 addressing this, or all these songs on Freetape 5 addressing it, and think that my job is done.
Gotcha.
That's extra credit.
Yeah.
What I have to do is actually be with people, in community with people. So that's my priority. And yeah, I think that everybody should just remember that activism, it's about action. It's about being active. So be active and just try your best. You know what I mean? You don't have to prove nothing to nobody. Just do good things, man.
Gotcha.
Tangible things. And do the reading.
Yeah.
Do the reading. You got to do the readings, because otherwise we're just running around.
Right.
So yeah, that's how I feel about that.
Right. So, man, so throughout the interview so far, I've heard you, bring up the word realness.
Realness.
Right. So
we need it.
Right. So
Where is it, man?
what does that word mean to you, like in your current chapter of life and also in your music?
Means just being honest first and foremost. That's what being real is. And as far as in my music, I think that being real is just saying the things that are true to me and not saying things because I think that people want to hear them or that I need to say them. You know what I mean? Being real is alignment. This is what I truly think, is that realness is alignment. If you are aligned with yourself, if you're aligned with your purpose, with your cause, with your community, then you are in a real state, a state of realness. If you're doing things because you're influenced to do them, if you're making decisions or forming your opinions because other people are influencing these opinions, and you're just accepting them, then you're not in a state of realness. You're avoiding realness.
Right.
You got to be in alignment. And so I think that with the way people, especially with the way people pursue hip hop, I think a lot of people are influenced to say and do things that they would never really do or say.
Gotcha.
Because they think that that's what's necessary of them in order to achieve whatever goal it is they have. But every single time, if you really say how you really feel, what you really think, what you really need to get off your chest, what you're really willing to leave behind and put into the ears of people, it shines through every single time.
Oh yeah.
You can feel realness on all five senses. It is not questioned. You can feel it. So we all got to turn on our realness radars, man.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of suspicious activity and a lot of propaganda and a lot of distractions.
Yeah.
Work on that realness radar. Every day I wake up, I play my sax, and I just practice realness. Just meditate, practice being real. Turn my realness radar on. Try to be honest and aligned in every single thing I do.
Gotcha.
And you can waver. It's okay. It's a hard world out here.
Right.
And sometimes we get tricked. Sometimes we get fooled. Sometimes we don't see things for how they are. And we need somebody in our community to correct that or to bring us closer to alignment. And that's another thing, is that trust yourself and find others to trust. And that's all part of the thing of realness. Because when everything's fake and being sold and bought, it's hard to know where to put your heart, whose hands to put your heart in. You know what I mean? So we got to be real with each other. We got to be real with ourselves. So we got to be in alignment with each other, alignment with ourselves, and just keep that radar on, because it's tricky out here.
There we go.
Yeah.
So I know we were saying earlier, man, you're a man that has a lot of pots on the stove, right?
I like that phrase. I never heard that before.
You're an artist. You're a community builder. I mean, we're talking about also some activism as well. With all those different things that you got going on, right? What do you feel like is the most rewarding part of your journey out of all those different things that you have?
It's growing. That's the most rewarding thing, is growth.
Gotcha.
Nothing's more rewarding than growth. And that's in any aspect. Facilitating the growth for others, seeing my people grow in their craft as people, as artists, as community members, seeing the progress that I've made, doing things that I could never have done before, doing them now with ease, and then even taking them for granted at times. Like, that's always a great reminder. Like, man, you're over here playing this horn not perfectly, and it's bothering you when you didn't even know how to make sound out of this thing not too long ago, earlier in your life. Right. Just sometimes you got to remind yourself that it's all about the growth, and that is rewarding, because it's rewarding from like a literal meaning and also just how it feels. It's rewarding. I love to grow. I love to see people grow. I don't ever want to tear anybody down because it's not required. If you got to tear people down for you to grow, then you have chosen your role in our ecosystem as a parasite. That's what you've chosen. If this is your mentality, if that's what you want to be, then you should own that.
Gotcha.
And we're all going to feel it. But like, if you believe in growth for yourself, growth for others, then you're just a plant. You know what I mean? We're all working on it together. So that's probably the best thing is that, and that's why it's easy to put a lot of pots on the stove because then you get to eat good, you know?
Hey, yeah, there we go.
But don't burn it though. You know, be careful.
Right.
But yeah, so it's just growth, man. I love to grow. I love it. I need it.
Gotcha, man. So talking legacy, right? You know, looking at both your music and your activism, what would you want, you know, your legacy to be for, you know, for somebody like looking in from the outside? What would you want them to see when they see you and everything that you do?
He was free. You know?
Okay, there we go.
He did it. As far as other than that, I hope that they like the music.
Right, yeah.
And I hope it does something for them because otherwise it was a waste of time, you know? But yeah, just that I was free and that I was free with people, you know? Because I have a line on my album that's like, how does it go? Long story short, it goes, by the time that we're free, we end up all alone. You know what I mean? That's the last bar of that verse.
Okay.
And that's something that I fear, you know what I mean? I don't want us to be in such pursuit of our individual freedoms that we leave everybody else behind. And sometimes it can seem like that's what you got to do. But I want people to see that I was free as an individual and I was free collectively with my people. We all pursued that together.
Gotcha.
It's not just about me, you know what I mean? And I don't want, I wouldn't want my legacy to only reflect my own story. I want it to be part of a collective story.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and if I did that successfully, then that means I can rest well and come back and do it again.
There we go. There we go. Man, so like, you know, with all that said, what kind of advice would you give, you know, to young creatives, especially, you know, those that are coming from immigrant or like multicultural backgrounds, you know, trying to find their voice in a city like Austin? Good
question. You got to do what you want to do, and you got to know why you want to do it. So work on that first.
There we go.
Because otherwise you're just going to be going in a direction that you don't understand. Ask for advice, you know, learn things.
Yeah.
Even at my age, I still am constantly asking for advice and trying to learn. Because once you think that you know it all, it's a wrap for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And just taking a lot, you know, I'm at a current phase in my life where I don't listen to like a lot of music that was released in the 21st century.
Okay.
Like I listen to a lot of old music.
I'm mad at that.
You know, that's just at the time. And a lot of time when new releases come out, I don't always like rush to listen to them.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I just need to process my own thoughts. Or I want to learn about the traditions from the past in order to apply that to the current state.
Right.
But at that, for all the young people, man, you got to take in things. You got to be a student. You have to be a student. So take in as much information, content, media, digest it, discuss it, start a book club, start a film screen club with your homies. The 5 of y'all get together, watch a movie every Thursday night. You know what I mean? Do things and be smart. Be an intellectual. Read books. If you can read a book a week, or like in a week you can sit down and read a book, knock a book out, and you're in amazing shape. I had the 98th percentile of our society. So be a student. That's the number one thing. And stay a student until you're a master. But it takes a long time to get to that point.
There we go.
So just be comfortable staying a student for a long time.
Right.
That's what I would say to young people.
Okay. Man, so let's talk the future, right? So I know we already talked about you got the Freetape 5 that you're working on right now. A potential residency. We still negotiating. We'll see about that.
I gotta check my email. I got one earlier today.
Man, what other projects and you know what things do you have coming down the pipeline that people should be looking out for?
Man, if you saw my untitled app folder, you'd be sick, man. There's so much music in there. There's so much music in there. But yeah, I mean, so I got Freetape 5 coming out. I'm already halfway through the Freetape 6. Bad habit.
Oh wow!
I know.
Right.
I should just finish the first one before going to the next one. Me and yours truly, who produced Freetape 4, aka Locust, who that's as a rapper, Locust, yours truly as a producer. We got an experimental jazz project we're working on. Me and my homie Peace, who did Freetape 2, we're working on an ambient jazz project. Which even saying that out loud just makes me happy, thinking about how like these people that I made this art with, like we're just continuing to get better and make new stuff. Like I love that. I'm in a rap group called Free Blue and the Freak. That's me, Locust, and Cardinal Blue. We got an album coming out Maybe by the end of the year, maybe early next year.
Okay.
And then my album, which is gonna be like my magnum opus, like that's gonna be really like the album of Free Hamze. You know what I mean? That's gonna be coming out next year, inshallah, and that's gonna have sounds that people have never heard in their entire lives because I ripped them off vinyls that don't exist on the internet.
Hey,
like I went to Cairo and brought back cassette tapes that no one's ever heard, and made beats out of them, and then said sentences that have never been uttered by a human before, literally. So that's really exciting. I can't wait for that. But that's just my own music. Like that's just for my music.
Okay.
But what we can really expect in 2026 is I'm gonna get my mojo back, first of all, because I kind of like stopped posting content. I stopped dropping so much and I just locked in and hibernated and just worked. You know what I mean?
Locked in.
So I'm really ready to step out and just show people what you can do when you work hard.
Gotcha.
What you can achieve when you really work hard. I want to inspire people.
There we go.
I want people to feel good. So a lot of new music, a lot of confidence, a lot of collaborations, you know, working with Blakchyl in the band, of course. I recently started playing with Clarence James, who is an amazing musician out in Austin, and his band. So more, you know, official musical stuff. Sahar Studios is definitely going to bring the Raz back. We're working on the grants. We're working on the scheduling right now.
Okay.
Going to take over with that vibe because it's infectious and the people, they need it. They want it. They want the Raz. And just being around more. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've been living in LA. I come back for shows all the time. I spend just as much time in Austin as I do out there. But I'm coming back to my city to lock in and really give it what it deserves and thank it for everything it's given me. And thank everybody just for being a part of it, man. I love everybody, even if people just like you, man. Like the podcast that you do. How cool is it that you got a podcast and you talk to people about their art?
Yeah, man.
That's amazing.
I love it, bro. For real.
That's amazing. Like people like you are amazing. Like even Dawa, this place that we're in right now.
Oh yeah.
People like Dawa are amazing.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just incredible to think about the passion that people have. And above all else, I'm a person that values passion.
There we go.
Passion, music is passion. So I just want to help out and just continue to build with people and continue to grow.
I love that.
So yeah, that's what we can expect for next year.
Okay.
Inshallah.
Okay. So before we wrap up, man, we got our final question of the night, right? So we talked about this already off air. Now that you got a chance to be on the 2 hour, you got a chance to chop it up about your projects, catch some good conversations, good vibes. Who do you think would be a good guest for the podcast in the future? But before you answer, this has to be somebody in your contacts. You can hit up, be like, hey, I pulled up. Y'all need to go ahead and link, and make it happen. Who would that person or people be? You can list as many as you want. I'm not gonna cut you off. But who would that be?
Good question. Have you had Blakchyl on this podcast before?
No, we haven't been able to line it up.
Yeah.
We're working on that.
Well, that's the mayor. You know what I mean? So
right.
That's what I'm gonna say off top. But other than that, who's really cool is Owen DeMarco. You know Owen DeMarco?
No.
My dog Odie. He's a cello player.
Okay.
He plays in a band called Giraffe. He plays bass.
Okay.
And he does sound for like every venue in Austin. Like he's worked sound.
Okay.
And I just feel like that's cool. Like
Yeah.
you do sound. Like you're the guy behind the soundboard.
Right.
And then you're on stage playing a cello. And then you're playing a bass in another band. I just feel like it's cool to hear from these people. Like sound guys, they're like unsung heroes.
Exactly.
They're the reason. I mean, think about it. It's a concert. Who's the most important guy in the room?
Yeah, they make everything work.
The sound guy, you know what I mean? So I love Owen. He plays with me in Blakchyl. He plays cello in our band too. So he's awesome.
I say, hey, let's lock that in,
Yeah,
man. Do
yeah.
something different.
No, hey, I'm on y'all's ass. Y'all better get out here.
There
Tell
we
people
go.
your story.
There we go.
So yeah, everybody got something to say though, man. You got to interview yourself.
Right, yeah.
That'd be cool.
I was gonna say, man, before we wrap up, man, let's plug your social media handles.
Okay.
Where can everybody find you, and where can everybody find your music?
First name Free, Free. Last name Hamze, Hamze, on all platforms, all streaming services, YouTube, everything. That's what it is.
Hey.
TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, all that. Yeah, it's that simple.
There we go.
Get into it. It's a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot more coming. So get into it, see what's up, and follow Sahar Studios, sahar.studios. It's SAHAR.studios. Because that's where all the cool stuff be happening at. And yeah, tap in with us, man. We're here. We're not going nowhere.
There we go. All right, man. Well, that wraps up this edition of the 2 Hour Lunch Break Podcast, man. Once again, shout out to the homie Free Hamze for taking time out to kick it with us. Shout out to our production behind the boards. You can find them on Instagram at Cafe Yodo. New episodes of the 2 Hour Lunch Break are streaming on all DSPs every Thursday, and you can find us on Instagram and X at 2HLBpod. Thank you for tuning in. We out. Hey.
Okay.
And it's coming home to Texas. It's coming home all the way to Austin, Texas, baby.